So, good evening to all of you. This is a new broadcast from this really cool YouTube channel. We're testing a lot of new things, and you will see some interesting broadcasts about social media, anti bullying, and a lot of other stuff within the near future. So, just relax, and you'll see some really cool stuff that we have planned for you. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about because there's so much happening right now on social media. And that's why we want to interact with the international audience from around the world, not only North America, but also from Australia and other parts of the world. Because social media is really about interaction and to talk to each other. It's not about one way communication. So I hope that I will have the possibility to build a really good channel with a lot of great followers who really cares about the subjects and things I'm going to talk about because we have a lot in common, and I really look forward to everything that's going to happen because this is really cool. So I hope that within the near future we'll see a lot of new people in here, and because this is important when we talk about social media, but also about anti bullying and a lot of other problems that we might face in the near future, because you never know what's going to happen in this complex world. We have to look at things as they are, not as we dream that they are or should be. It's like we live in a crazy world. It's just facts. Anything can happen. So be careful when you're on social media because you never know if you're going to have a situation with a lot of trolls or other bullies coming around. That's why you also should have somebody who moderates when it comes to your comments, because when people comment during a live, anything can happen. We have seen that on other channels. So, some good advice is to ask somebody who you trust to help you out so you can focus on broadcasting and what you are good at, not spending your time with things that somebody else can do. So I will keep on talking for a while here and get things rocking because we need to build this channel and see the possibilities out there. I have been on other channels before and things have been working out rather good, but I have not been so active when it comes to live broadcasting. I have been focusing more on writing and posting photos and some videos. But sometimes you just have to take the next step and learn new things. Because if you don't learn anything, well, nothing happens and you will go nowhere. That's just the sad truth. Something to think about when you're on social media and live broadcasting is that you have to be aware of the time difference between different parts of the world so you can reach the right audience for you. We know how much time difference is between Sweden and say North America because we have like 7 hours to New York, it's 9 and 10 hours to Los Angeles, and it's the other way around when we talk about Asia, which like many time zones, and that's just how it is. We have to live with it. But you have to focus it. If you want to reach a specific audience, go online and broadcast when you know they are awake and they have the possibility to listen what you have to say. That's why you should broadcast live in the evening here in Sweden, because then you can reach the audience in North America. And it's much easier to talk in English if you want to reach the international audience because the Swedish language is rather small. It's only like Sweden and the population on the Åland Islands and like 4 or 5% in Finland who speak Swedish. So just focus on going on in English and you can really reach a large audience. That's the way I think and see it. So I feel very much at home with people from both America and Canada. So I hope to see a lot of you in here. So let's continue with another subject. Let's talk about anti-bullying because that's something we really need to talk about a lot because it's not just something that goes on online. We see the bullying going on also at different workplaces around the world. So we need to be very clear about how we work to end the bullying that's going on because people should not be harassed or bullied when they come to their job every day. People should be able to work in peace without anybody treating them with disrespect or anything else. When it comes to bullies online, it's much harder because you never know when they come from somewhere. They sometimes they use fake profiles, and sometimes it's just trolls. So they never use their say correct name. So you have to watch out there and be very careful. If we look to the near future, well, there's a lot of things going on. One thing we know is that in November there is an election in the US again, the midterm election, and who knows what's going to happen there. You never know when it comes to American politics. And right now we have no government in Sweden because nothing is really happening, and it's just a fight between the right and the left. And well, it's just a game for them. But that's not so. When you talk to the people want a government, but the politicians they only play games because it's all about power for them, nothing else. They don't really care about the people. That's the sad fact. So sometimes the best thing you can do when it comes to being online is to stay away from politics or religion and focus on things that you're passionate about, like social media, writing, painting, or yeah, whatever you might be very good at. Because passion is very important, and that you can show it for your audience that wow, and get the message out there. Because if you manage to do that, well, that's one step in the right direction. So now, well, it's going to be a very interesting future here with trying out different things here on the YouTube channel and trying to build a really good audience from different parts of the world and see if we can make this channel really take off, because YouTube is a very good alternative when it comes to broadcasting live. YouTube is one thing, it's completely different to go online and broadcast live on Facebook, because on Facebook it's much more like everybody's little room with all kinds of people. It's not like you're talking to professionals, it's more like talking to somebody who's sitting in your, say, TV sofa or something like that. So there's a lot of work to be done when it comes to finding your right audience and finding your voice and making sure that you get your message out there. I hope you find this broadcast rather interesting because things are going to happen, and I'm really looking forward to the coming live broadcasts that I will be doing, because I believe in reaching out to the international audience instead of just focusing on Sweden, because Sweden is a small country if we compare to many other countries. And we can see that much of the news when it comes to social media comes from the US. They are much quicker at things, and here in Sweden it takes some time before things happens. We have a lot to learn from the social media experts in the US and in Canada because they know what they're talking about. It's not just about talking, it's about really showing that what works and what doesn't work. Social media is not a game. Social media is something much more serious. It's about building an audience and have the goal to convert them to possible clients or customers. That's the real thing. So be professional when you're online and talk to people in a way that shows them that you're a professional, a serious person. Don't play games or try to fool them with any kind of tricks. I'll be focusing on some of the different channels on social media in the coming broadcasts because it's a good way to teach people and to show them why things work as they do. And just look at the news feed at Facebook. You have to know about the algorithm and how they change what people see because what's popular and who is publishing and a few other points that I have been reading about today in a new book. So that and much more will be coming within the next couple of days and weeks and months because we have great plans. YouTube will be the main channel to get the English broadcasting going because I can reach much more people there. In Sweden, it's just like uh, not too many people. It's like a few hundred sometimes, and sometimes even smaller than that. But I want to try if I can take this channel and go somewhere because I believe in going global and going international because I feel much more at home with people from like America and Canada because they make me feel like more relaxed and being at home because earlier in my life I lived and attended school first in Madison, Wisconsin, and then in La Jolla, California. So I really feel at home with the North American culture. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from a lot of you in the near future. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.